So here we go. Hopefully you're comfortable. Hopefully you have something to drink. This is happening now.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual.
Very
Can't be
weird.
helped. You called me. So here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room and there's a poster on the wall.
Right.
We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here.
Hey, Jesse.
Why did you bring me here? Hello? Anyone here?
I have missed you. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so couple of things. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I do want to be able to analyze this game, so I'm going to set a couple of elements straight. She is talking to a you, right? So, of course, that's a narrative effect they're using to give us the impression that she is talking to us. She is not. It's a cool effect, and feel free to go for the ride, but she is not. She is actually talking to... Not going to say too much, okay? But I'm going to establish that there is an entity. We've met one entity in Alan Wake called the Darkness. She is talking to another one of those entities. A lot of what we're going to do during the stream is try to figure out what each of these entities are all about. That's all I'm going to say. For now. Unmapped area. How do I get to... Tab isn't given... Okay, I guess we'll read that later then. That's fine.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
Collectibles. There we go. The first... Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm actually not going to comment on that, but it can be easily explained. We'll get to... Yeah, it makes sense, but I can't say too much because at this point it would be a spoiler, but it does actually make sense. This is the first of many files in this game, okay? So get ready to watch me read files all the time. This is one of the game's strengths, but it's also one of its flaws. The game does a whole bunch of world building, which is super good, but usually they do it through way too many documents that you find lying about. A lot of our time is going to be spent reading through shit. It's fine. It's just, it's a lot. So, expenditure summary, executive sector Q2, major, staffing, surveillance, redacted, data center initiative, construction, redacted, minor, official equipment, janitorial costs, We're gonna talk about janitors. We're gonna get, yeah. You may not have even noticed yet, but the janitor has already been in the game twice. We're gonna talk about the janitor. Believe me. Mold removal. Jesus Christ. Okay. Mold removal is also something too. Okay, we'll talk about that later. HQ livability costs. For breakdown spreadsheet, see page 5. For 5-year comparison charts, see page 9. Okay, I know it sounds super not interesting, but one day you'll understand. All of that is meaningful. Yeah, no shit. Gods. Okay, that was just a door closing. Ready. By the way, in case you missed it, Head of Research, Dr. Casper Darling. Our bureau at work. That's the janitor. Director Zachariah Trench. I did not know this the first time I played because, of course, I hadn't met the janitor yet. But think about it. This is the head of research. This is the director. And then we've got the janitor. Why am I making such a big deal out of the janitor? We're going to talk about that in like 30 hours of gameplay. But it's really telling that the 3 most important people in the company, or at least the 3 people important enough to be on that wall, is the director, the head of research, and the frickin' janitor. Oh, gods, are we gonna get back on that topic? Okay. This is fine.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them and they were hiding in plain sight.
That they were. Okay. Hello. As you all should know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We're still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request form R4.E from your supervisor. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, then you'll need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department head, Dr. Darling, Mrs. Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy. Sorry, this is in my way. Okay. Annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. Best, your admin team. And that was the document next to the scanner that I was trying to read. Reminder, certain objects are not allowed inside the Bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on prohibited materials, unauthorized weapons, pagers, laptops, smart watches, smartphones, smart gaming devices, anything smart. Number 2, pencils. Any objects considered iconic representations of an archetypal concept. Example, rubber ducks, ketchup bottles. All material under Bureau investigation is to be brought in through the private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, please notify your supervisor immediately. Fair enough. That's a dang good point. Actually, oh wow! I saw your line just before that. Just a picture of janitor 2 making the regular employees feel useful. Those are actually 2 pretty good points, to be honest. There we go. That's the menu I was looking for. Okay, so multimedia, we don't have any yet. Okay, so we're on top of everything so far. We've read everything we've had access to. Okay.
Hello?
Meet. Hello. That's the director. But meet the janitor.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, you are helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it. No face.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
Okay, so first, I know what job she's potentially interviewing for, and we're going to be talking about that in a second, but the implication that that specific job is actually the janitor's assistant, that's a big deal. I missed that the first time around because I had no idea what job we were talking about, but oh my god. Second, he heard her internal monologue and replied to it. Just saying. Guess I'm gonna go right out and say it. I think the janitor is another entity himself. We're gonna talk about that later, but I'm extremely convinced that the janitor, there's a reason why it's the janitor, like the darkness and all of the other thes we're gonna talk about. The janitor, pretty sure that's an entity. Pretty important one, too. And we're back in this room we were just in. Like, this is the lobby down there. We recognize it. But now, the janitor portrait is an elevator. Told you shit was gonna get weird. This is the same room we were in. True. To be fair, that could be that the entity is called the janitor and Ahti is the person inhabited by the entity called the janitor. That's completely possible. Likely, even.
The cell and the poster.
Sorry.
I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
Heck yeah. Yep, that was it. Thanks for coming. Control is awesome, right? While this is playing, though, I mean, I don't know if it was on purpose, but I feel like it was. The entire allegory of looking behind a poster. It's not perfect, considering it wasn't a poster per se, but a portrait, but I think it was intentional that she gains access to... Like, the whole thing starts after she walks beyond what used to be the janitor's portrait, which is now an elevator.
Did I lose you there for a moment? You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
Did you... Okay. For a second there, I couldn't control my mouse. Did you notice this weird circle effect? This is gonna happen a lot. This represents the entity she is talking to. Arguably, it's us. Potentially. Unclear. Approved terminology reminder. While penning a notification of death related to the Willow AWE, please adhere to the following guidelines. Words, phrases to use. In the service of his/her country. Regret, proud/pride. Will be remembered. Phrases to avoid. Alaska. Scissors. Blood/bleed. Loss. Apologies/sorry. What? I actually don't know what this is about. I don't remember the Alaska AWE, but I'm sure we'll hear all about it later on. And yes, I know what an AWE is, but I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to let the game explain it for us. Gotta keep some mysteries. I'm going to be a bit pedantic about going everywhere because I want to try to make sure we see as many of the files as we can. As explained, a lot of the lore goes through files, so we gotta be thorough. I mean, while it might be us, I doubt so, because there's others you have access to talking disintently, unless there's a prequel at some point. Yeah, no, I agree. It's why I said potentially, because it feels like they want us to feel like she's talking to us specifically, so there's a chance they at least want us to think we're the entity at the very least. But I don't think, like, in the long run, knowing like how the game ends, for example, I'm pretty sure it's just an effect they're trying to make, but we're not actually the entity. But I gotta keep the options open. But I agree with you. I don't think we are actually the entities. What? No apology/sorry? What do they have against Canadians? Right? I mean, it's the USA, man. What can I say? I'm kidding. No issues with Americans, but it is technically the Federal Bureau of Control, set, I think they're in New York, if memory serves. Dun, dun, dun. Investigate the noise. Trench, do not disturb. Barbara, I am not to be disturbed. Cancel all my appointments for the day. For the rest of the week, I can't trust them, Barbara. Not a single one. Boo. No, don't boo. I did say I don't have anything against Americans.
Shit.
Yes.
Shit.
You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
See this? It's kind of like a visual cue of the entity communicating. Like, it's kind of manifesting itself somehow around the murder weapon. Let's call it that.
Something's outside. Was coming here a mistake?
But first, coffee. I think we're good. There's only the gun. Okay. Yeah, I agree. But first, coffee is special. I'm gonna keep using it. It's not going away. And that, by the way, is Director Trench.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Look at this place. Where am I?
Oh, I forgot. Even the gun has a room like that. Huh. I know I'm not making a lot of sense, but I do have to let the game explain a few things. The board is so hard to understand. The house/prison you occupy. It's like so many words they use have double meanings. Like they're talking about the building we just came from, the building where the Bureau works, right? And they're calling it as a house and a prison. Why a prison? What do they mean by that? And I don't think we're ever going to actually figure it out. I don't think that's explained. Okay, and I almost had us killed right there. Okay. Okay. Good.
The same gun.
Control the gun/house. It's like the gun is the house. That's interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Now I have a gun.
It's like they speak in imagery, right? It's like it's a gun, but it's also a sword. It's both things simultaneously, and whenever they speak, both meanings are gonna come out. It's like if you control the gun, you control the house. It's interesting. Just it's awesome, is what it is. I love the board. And by the way, if it wasn't clear yet, the board, another entity. So we finished Alan Wake knowing of only one entity called the Darkness. And here we're already at the janitor and the board. Alright, fine. Buddy it is. Oh. Okay. So weapons regenerate. Okay. Ammunition automatically when not in use. Okay, I forgot that. I was trying to reload manually, and what it did instead is it switched to shoulders. Control is not old. Control maybe 100 years old. I want to say we there's a lot of documents in the basement that explains that. It might have existed under a different form at some point for sure. We'll pay attention to that because I'm particularly interested in the Federal Bureau of Control's history during this replay. It's one of the many things I'm interested in. But in the form it has now, it's not particularly old. Did it exist as something else before? Probably. House prison / my guess is that they are saying you can control reality her own, but also the prison parcel. Potentially. That said, to clarify, the director does not control the building itself. However, it controls the legal entity it represents. The director controls the company, but the old house controls itself. Oops. There's going to be a lot of lore about the house itself fairly early on, actually. I'm wasting bullets on purpose here because I want to force the gun to recharge. Headshots don't appear to do a lot more damage than regular hits, so I guess I won't bother. Oh, we have a gun. I don't like you. We're going first. Recoil's a bit of a bitch. Enemies drop health elements when damaged. Oh yeah, that's right. Those are health. Collect health elements to restore health, but I'm okay. I don't need it. Is that a song? I'm like still confused about that. You/we wield the gun/you. The board appoints you. Congratulations, director. So that's the job we got. We're replacing Trench.
Coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
Dun, dun,
Things have quieted down outside. Is it safe to go?
No. God, no. You want to listen? It's a reference to this game. Oh, it might be something I just completely forgot. Okay, fine. It makes sense. I like how they said we control the gun/you because they control the gun and you have the gun and essentially they control you through the gun. All of these double meanings are just awesome. Yeah, let's go find and free our brother. Sure. It's going to be that easy. Boom. Ain't that fucking awesome, right? Come on. If you're not already sold on this game, I don't know what to tell you.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You. Oh, thank you.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Horror.
Get the fuck away!
Yep. I'm gonna use that now. Thank you. Personal mod, health recovery. Okay, we're gonna start with the mods already. Just gonna make sure we got... Oh, she's running now. Okay. Why is she running? Okay, it's a weird toggle. It's on a toggle. Okay. I thought it was gonna be, I guess, not on a toggle. Okay, this we can't open. We don't have access yet. This we can. It's fine. We've been here before. Okay. Sounds like, I guess I can't explain it, but yeah, the entity in that she's been talking to has stopped. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, I suppose, but there's another entity coming into play now, third one from this game. It's what has possessed those 3 guards, and it was trying to possess us. And the other entity, the one that she's talking to, which is not the board, it's yet another entity, has stopped it. Also, we're the director now. Like, literally, Director Jesse Faden, right then and there. You just got the job, and there's already a picture of you right there. This game's awesome, man. Awesome.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guide us. Reach the hotline.
The hotline, says the dead man. Okay.
She's just rolling with it now. It's like, alright. I'm trying to get... Okay, loadout, yes. Personal mods, yes. Elf recovery, yes. Give me more elf. I'm okay with that. Thank you. Do we have it? Wait, we don't have any weapon mods. That's fine. Collectibles. Oh, wait. I was trying to go with collectibles. There was one we didn't read, apparently. Research. Okay. Okay, case files, service weapon. There we go. Objects of power. Our first one is the service weapon. Containment procedure. No unique procedures required. Description / para utility. The object's form is variable. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to redacted. This object must only be bound by individuals seeking the role of redacted, but we know it's the director. The object will determine whether an applicant, I guess it's saying an applicant is worthy, essentially. If rejected, the applicant is terminated. The process is dictated by I suppose it's the board, though their criteria is unknown. Background. The object was discovered inside the oldest house. Interesting. Because Control itself, they found the oldest house, I'm going to say about a century ago. Like, I don't know the exact timing, but it wasn't that long ago. And the gun was already there. So I'm thinking, if the gun used to have a different form, like, say, a sword or something like that, there might have been some other group, some other order, let's say, doing the same job that they are, also working for the board, just completely unrelated to the ones who are doing it now. In the room that is now used as the director's office, the popular hypothesis, redacted, many forms throughout history, redacted, Mjolnir, Excalibur, Varanastra, all weapons that, redacted, of their wielders. If objects of power are the convergence of forces based on the collective subconscious, then this may be the original manifestation of that event. If this is the case, redacted, see Dr. Darling presentation 11.1 for more details. Okay. Maybe it's not automatically related to the board and or, the concept of control. This should be what we've already... No, it's different. Okay, we're gonna watch it.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. A side note, remember to cover their connection to the astral plane as well. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it. Lose and you're, well, fine. Thank you. I'm Dr. Darling, Head of Research, Federal Bureau of Control.
Is that supposed to be what the service weapon looks like if you're not the director, or if it's not bound to any director? I'm not sure. The oldest house. So maybe the oldest house has to be discovered and knowledge lost access to the oldest house through this. Yeah, probably. For those who aren't necessarily following, to clarify, the building we are in is an object of power itself, and it's called the oldest house. Okay. I'm gonna let them come to me. And they're not doing that. Fine. You know what? Yeah. Totally could. I think we're in the clear. And yeah, there are weird flying people. Just muttering stuff. That's damn creepy. Honestly, yeah, there's a heck ton of possibilities. Could be, yeah. Could be Merlin was... No, I guess the director would have had to be Arthur in that particular instance of it. Executive meeting minutes. Agenda items for next executive meeting. Rising costs of AWE response. Update on mold eradication efforts. Upcoming annual salary reviews. New supplier of coffee filters. Coffee! To be found and vetted. Please come prepared. Thank you for your time. See? Oh god, I thought I was someone, but it was just her reflection. Even, you know, executive... Wow. Damn, Jesse. Like, giving no shit, just destroying offices. Even executive folks knew their priorities. Like, we're gonna talk about the mold, but first, coffee.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Dinner reservation at 7 p.m. at Chez Ambre. Wife will meet you there. Don't be late. Flowers are ready for you at lobby reception. Remember, she's turning 30. She's turning 46. Just gonna try to zigzag through, make sure anything that could be picked up is gonna show up. Okay. Marshall, AWE Investigations, Federal Bureau of Control, confidential. For Marshall's eyes only. Marshall, we checked out the suspected AWE in Duluth. Wasn't anything, just like the house fire before this, and a malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team is getting pretty sick of duds. We need to find a better way, I guess, to sort the fake AWEs from the real things, or you need to rotate these field agents off for a bit. Anyway, we're en route to Sherman Ranch, next one on the list. Let's hope it's a little livelier there. Sincerely, Special Agent Keenum. So now we've learned that the Bureau of Control sends agents on the field. So that... Yeah, I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna... because we've already heard it. Sends agents on the field to investigate AWEs. And, I mean, for me, that sounds like a golden opportunity to build a game, essentially, out of that, literally. Like, it's pre-written in the setting. Like, let us play as a team of people exploring the world trying to find AWEs. Now, of course, I just realized the game hasn't exactly explained what an AWE is yet. Give it time.
The hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy. That babble's contagious. It burrows in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
I'm not gonna risk DMCA. I mean, I honestly can't make out what they're saying, but I would be interested in knowing what they are saying, if anyone can make it out. Urban Legends. Examination of paranatural topics. Urban Legends. Summary. Urban legends are believed to affect the creation of altered materials, but can also dictate the characteristics of an altered world event. Urban legends are understood as the modern evolution of Jung's archetypes. We recognize certain redacted, informed by our own redacted, and popularized by our media. We have additionally proven that urban legends can even be artificially redacted in popular culture using redacted. Our Bureau-made anthology television program. Once the seeds are sown, human imagination exacerbates the details. Certain paranatural phenomena contain clear elements of popularized folklore, AWEs that only occur unredacted, a pair of scissors that consume... scissors. Probably related to the... Atlanta, gosh darn it. Started with an A. Someplace in the world that starts with an A. A pair of scissors that consumes human redacted through 2 punctures of the redacted. These details, living in the minds of so many, have been giving strength true belief. Urban legends are not just stories for children. They are paranatural realities waiting to happen. Refer to File 493-6942 for full report. So we just learned something interesting. AWEs can exist just essentially by the power of the consensus. Kind of already tying in with Alan Wake there to a certain degree. Like, belief reshaping reality. The way I suppose a certain Thomas Zane may have believed he had the power to rewrite reality. Potentially. Visitor evaluations. How to handle unscheduled visitors entering the lobby. Start with the following. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, established in 1964 as part of an effort to strengthen government relations. We are proud to serve the United States and our people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. If they do not leave, ask them these questions. Are you here to see someone? Are you from New York City or just visiting? How do you find this place? If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office and that they'll need to leave. If their answers seem redacted, escort them to a private room. There perform the gunner's psychological assessment. If their responses are within the acceptable range of deviance, see the provided scoring sheet, then redacted immediately. Remember, there's no such thing as too suspicious. You've been saying, okay. I assume you looked into it, essentially. What they're saying is literally what you've been saying from the start, like you want to listen. What were the others? You want to dream, you want to smile, you want to hurt, you don't want to be, that kind of thing. That's what they're saying. That's cool. That makes sense. I've made out the word anger. They're probably saying several things at the same time. Gonna have to go down. Yeah, I thought this might happen. I thought it had already exploded. Duck. Can't duck. Okay. Guy. Give me some health.
Must cleanse control points. An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading them.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help me fix it.
But first, coffee. We got this. It's less good. Oh no, it's just more HP, not heal more. I think I'd rather heal faster. We don't have a lot of XP anyway. Here, okay, here we go. Damage plus 23. I'm up for that. Assets. Right. Don't remember what those do, so it's fine. Let's cleanse the control point.
Holy shit! You did it! We did it!
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us?
Just gonna pause for a quick second. I think Terraria is copy-pasting what they're saying. You are a worm through time. The thunder song distorts you. Happiness comes. White pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror, inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this to be true. We stand around while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. This happens more and more now. You gave us the permission in your regulations. We wait in the stains. The word that describes this is redacted. Repeat the word. The name of the sound, it resonates in your house. After the song, time for applause. We build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home. You remind us of home. You've taken your boss with you. All hair must be eaten. Under the conceptual reality behind this reality, you must want the waves to drag you away. After the song, time for applause. This cliche is death out of time, breaking the first, the second, the third, the fourth wall, the fifth wall. Floor, no floor, you fall. How do you say insane? Hurts to be happy. An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah, just plastic. Very random, but they say it in a creepy way, I guess. Like, so even stuff like baby baby, yeah, it doesn't sound like that's what they're saying. So safe and nothing to worry about. Haha, funny. The last egg breaks now. The hole in your room is a hole in you. You came and we let you through. The hole in you. You always been here, the only child. A copy of a copy of a copy. Orange peel. The picture is you holding the picture. When you hear this, you will know you're in new you. You want to listen. You want to dream. You want to smile. You want to hurt. You don't want to be. That's awesome. We're going to take, I think, a quick bio break before we get into the next segment because we have someone to talk to in the intercom, and I think that's going to be crap ton of exposition. So let's take a quick bio break before that. I'll be right back. Hey Void, welcome, welcome. Was wondering when you were going to pop in. Happy to see you are there. Shall I bring you up to speed, or have you played this before? Don't mind either way. It's just I wanna
Still sane?
oh wait. If I'm gonna have to recap, I wanna do that before we talk to her. Am I still on? I should be. All right. Guess I'm just gonna do a quick recap, I guess, just in case while you answer. So we entered a building called. Just go on. Sorry. All right. Perfect. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. I'm
Talk to me.
fine. Fine. I like popes. I'm
We
not
saw
gonna.
you deal with the compromised agents.
I'm not gonna first coffee her. I'm just gonna, Pope is cool.
Can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie?
Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting.
I should have lied.
Oh, shit. You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out.
You're not just visiting. But yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah,
I found his body. And the gun.
Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
the service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point, push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet.
A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the Bureau she's a part of.
Yes. I can try.
I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
I'm gonna catch up with chat because I just remembered the the widget is shot, so people who will be watching that on YouTube can't see. So Terraria was saying, Dr. Darling's assistant, meet janitor's assistant, which I found to be hilarious. And he also says, people always seem so calm that there's a new director. And yeah, they do. Like, they're professionals. What can I say? They've seen shit. Actually, you know what? Nope. Open up, buddy. It's time to first coffee. Come on. Let's first coffee this shit. Here we go. Explanation on control points. That's useful. Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the redacted arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by redacted detection of an unobstructed ping using the redacted within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures or redacted, or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be redacted. Refer to file 725-2788 for full report. Nothing else? All right. So let's try to see if whatever that other entity is, if they can push the hiss out. Oh, but yeah. For YouTube, Terria says, bringing in werewolf, control points sound like Karen Hart's. To a certain point, yeah.
Has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
Yep, I've just disintegrated someone. And we've gotten his research section now with a couple of new options. Hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These Hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the Hiss corruption, like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons, preparing to enter the next stage of evolution? When attacked, Hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Research is ongoing. Refer to file redacted for full report. Hiss guard. Ooh, I can make it bigger. All right, cool. The Bureau has many internal security personnel. The Hiss was quick to take advantage of this fact. Hiss guards used the standard issue bullpup rifles they carried prior to corruption, while the armored guards carry pump-action shotguns. They have no observed paranatural abilities, with the exception that certain Hiss guards are protected by a shielding of dense Hiss resonance, capable of stopping bullets. Is this shielding a result of prolonged Hiss corruption? Does the Hiss mature in organic hosts over time? More data is needed. Did the Hiss target individuals with combat training? Does the Hiss have that level of cognizance? Does it utilize hosts or tasks they are best suited to? Combat-trained hosts are reserved for combat? These are all questions for later, though it is obvious that corrupted individuals retain knowledge on the use of their weapons. Refer to file redacted for a full report. Seems awfully okay with that. Probably justifies it as they were already gone, but also they done bad things to my brother. She doesn't seem particularly healthy in the brain. You mean, I'm assuming you mean Jesse. I mean, she's seen shit, Yael. She's seen shit.
Jesse, over here. We need to make a plan, Jesse.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it.
Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench, the ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the Hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader.
Give it time, Jesse.
Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
Don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the mailroom. You can get to the hotline containment chamber through there. Good luck, Jesse. See you back here once you have the hotline.
Thanks, Emily.
So Terraria says, Why is the hotline with the other phones? Seems a little, I don't know. Why isn't it in the office? It's technically in the office. It's next to the office. It's just right now, the way the whole house decided to be set up, I can't get to it. But it's literally, I mean, if I open up this, I can't move my, okay. Like, can you see where it says director's office? There's a corridor that we didn't have access to when we were inside the director's office, and then it goes southwards to this big round room. That's where the hotline is. So it is actually for the director's specific use. He's the only one with technically access, or I would assume is the only one with access, but I guess people could go via the mailroom for sure, but I don't think anyone but the director. That's not true. The director and the janitor can use the phone without dying. Yeah. Yes, because there are logs, and the janitor is in the logs as well. Let's catch up with... sure. Is that better? No, it's not. Okay. Assets. We're fine. We don't even know what those are yet. Missions were fine. Collectibles. We got a bunch, I think. Portrait of director. Don't care. Nope, not a bunch. Just that. Okay, good. Good. Because we are going to sit through a crap ton of exposition now.
The hotline should be in the communications department.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No, just inside.
The source is internal then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily. You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door.
Okay.
Hence, when I said earlier, there's an explanation why they just let Jesse in. For starters, there was no one there because they were in lockdown anyway, so everyone just went back further inside the building. Second of all, no one finds the building unless those who are supposed to. That's part of why they're set up there, essentially. She's the exception because she has a weird entity who led her there, but normal folks, they don't even notice the building, so they don't actually need security. Now and again, as we've seen on the file, some people, I'm assuming para-utilitarians of a certain degree, sometimes they notice it, but they are usually easily just shown the door and that's it. So they don't need heavy security. The end, like say in Alan Wake. I mean, I think it's a little bit different in the sense that at least the darkness seems to be contained to the lake. Like, if the darkness wants to, she can expand maybe to the town, but it doesn't feel like she can get much further because her whole thing is to be able to be freed. So her influence is limited. Whereas the hiss, well, I guess maybe the hiss would be limited to the building even if there wasn't a lockdown. True that she's assuming here that the hiss would just keep expanding and destroy everything. That seems like an assumption to me for sure. But it's still, I think the hiss is more dangerous than... In a certain way, the hiss is more dangerous than the darkness. The darkness feels more powerful, like hurricanes and all of that. It doesn't sound like the hiss can do that. But it feels like the hiss is more of a thing that would just spread and keep going forever until everything is the hiss. That's a theory, though.
This trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part. I'd need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah.
Exactly, right? The hiss spreads by sound. So in theory, the hiss would just keep spreading across anyone who just hears the sound, this weird incantation. That being said, I mean, we don't know a lot about the darkness, right? Like, maybe if the darkness was freed, it would also be able to keep spreading and spreading wherever darkness is. We don't know. Potentially the darkness came into this world already bound in the lake. I don't know. Also, the hurricane was the keyboard, not the darkness. What? What? I'm a bit confused on that one, though. Except the end of the game, there was this huge hurricane with a bunch of stuff in it. That was the darkness trying to stop us from getting to her and using the clicker. That's what I'm referring to. Maybe I'm missing a reference there, but let's keep listening to the exposition first. Well, okay. For YouTube, Toria says the hurricane was written as part of the story. I mean, yes, but so was the darkness. So, I mean, every event technically was part of the novel called not The Return, but Departure. So, yeah, but it's still within the scope of the powers of the darkness. What it can do. It can possess people, it can throw objects, and it can do hurricane shit. Like, it's throughout the game, it did hurricane stuff a couple of times. Or at the very least super strong winds that, made trees crash and kind stuff like that. It's a power she's manifested 2 or 3 times throughout the game. It was just way bigger, like at the ending it was like definitely right there. But we've seen this hurricane thing happen earlier in the game as well.
Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics. So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense. Got it?
Did she memorize this?
Got it. Thanks.
She did not got this. I'm actually thinking maybe I think you were sleeping through the other part where there was a hurricane actually. In the chase, the manhunt, when we were escaping from the police and the FBI, there were other instances of hurricanes.
So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Okay, seems like we're good. Terraria says items of power may be able to create entities. Entities then create items of power. Yeah, potentially. It's kind of like the egg and the chicken, like which one came first, right? I'm thinking entities just kind of exist by themselves. Like the way she's describing it is like essentially people are making objects of power. Like the gun came from a certain type of belief, a certain archetype that people believe in. Essentially, symbols can become objects of power, and then these objects, by becoming objects of power, link to the astral plane, which is where the entities are. So I'm thinking it's more like we're creating the objects of power, which creates the bridge that entities use to come through. However, I'm thinking there are definitely exceptions, because that's not how the darkness came here, as far as we know. As far as we know, there wasn't any objects of powers involved in the springs. What was it? Fall Spring? I forget the name of the city where Alan Wake happens, but I don't think there was an object of power involved in that particular event. Like, Thomas Zane just used his ability to define reality, wrote, and then my girlfriend was alive, and then the darkness just popped into that corpse to animate it. So he literally grabbed this entity from somewhere and brought it here, or created it whole cloth just because he wrote stuff. Who knows? Terra says, so items of power are like a part of entity reproductive cycle. Keyboard, not an object of power? Keyboard, you mean the typewriter? It's possible, definitely possible that... Okay, let me clarify. You may have a very good point that the typewriter that's in the cabin that Alan Wake uses is an object of power. Definitely possible. It hasn't been stated as such, so I'm just assuming, right? Either Zane had the power to do that from the start himself, or both Alan Wake and Zane just happened to use an object of power, which is the typewriter, to write reality. That would make more sense, actually. You're probably right. That's because then most objects of power have limitations. They have rules. Just like, for example, you have to write within a certain genre, and your story can't be anything, right? You can't just write, and then my girlfriend was alive, because then something else is going to happen. You have to earn your way through a decent story towards, and then your girlfriend was alive. There are rules to follow, just like an object of power. Yeah, I think you're right. That makes way too much sense that way. Way more than just Zane having the power to alter reality, because then we fall into all of these problems that you pointed out when we were playing Alan Wake, like what came first, and just like what's the limit, and nothing really... Quickly everything unravels. But if it's an object of power, I think it's easier to keep it contained. Like, it probably can't just rewrite history, for example. It would be limited to, you write a good story, and that story is going to happen, and that's all it can do, potentially. Who knows?
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon. Just let me know.
I'm really hoping that by replaying this game now that we've just played Alan Wake, we're going to be able to figure those things out. There's a huge section of the game dedicated to Alan Wake, and when we played it the first time, I had pretty much forgotten everything about Alan Wake, so I was unable to make those links. But yeah, let's work with that hypothesis, that the typewriter in the cabin was an object of power for now. Because I think that's accurate. Pretty sure that's accurate. Seems odd that there is nothing in this room, but okay. Shifted bathroom complaint. Listen, I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. Dr. Rodriguez, or D. Rodriguez. That's gotta be the worst place to work at, to be honest. Like, you can never know if the bathroom's gonna be there, or if when you leave the bathroom you're still gonna be, you know, near your office, or if you're just gonna be like in a completely different wing. Yeah, I'm not gonna let music play just in case, because I don't want to get DMCA'd. Redacted. A Sharkin is redacted. Although secure, redacted. Permission to redacted. Following is basic protocol. Redacted. Shoot to kill. Redacted. Good luck. Okay. Technological limitations of the oldest house. Summary. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any redacted signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. If the power of collective unconscious is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural redacted for the oldest house to redacted them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be Technology may be moving at too fast a pace for the redacted to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Redacted agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Refer to file 419-1935 for a full report. Yeah, a shark. What the heck? It's this again. This must be the worst place ever to work at. True. Typewriter is definitely an older technology, yeah. So we can't enter this, but we can enter this. Yeah, no, sorry. All right, we're good. Does this open? It does. All right, so we're back and in the office of the director. So this opens up essentially, and the phone is just like right there, but we can't get to it right now. Shatter projectile choke. Okay, that's a mod for, let's say, options that we don't have yet. And we've been here. Yeah, that's the radio. That's perfectly fine. Okay, whoop. What's that? Oh, okay, no, it's the door. All right, that's fine. This goes to, okay, good. Here, we had options here. What were those again? Fast travel and outfits. We don't need those just yet. Well, let's see outfits. What do we have? Civilian. All right, that's fine. Okay. We can't go there, and we... Oh, we can go here already, but they're locking it, and that's a good point. This is the jukebox, and we will not be messing with that in this playthrough. The jukebox is... I think it's technically a DLC. It's completely optional. It's just a set. It teleports you essentially to another world where you just get these series of really hard challenges to try and survive. And we might do some just to show you what it looks like. But we're not going to spend a whole bunch of time in there. There's really little point and zero narrative reason to go there. But there are some pretty decent rewards in terms of mods, so I might do a few for specific mods, but beyond that, I'm not going to touch it. Oh, shit, that's a... Ooh. Terraria is on point. For the YouTube folks, he's asking if it's the same one from Alan Wake, and I don't know. Honestly, could be. We'd have to boot Alan Wake again, which I'm not going to do, but yeah, it's definitely an option. Hey, Red... Rose... Oh, Rose Dragon. Hey, hi. How you doing, Rose?
There it is again.
I haven't seen you in a bit.
Welcome message.
And this is starting again. Nice, nice. I can't open that yet. Oh, that's not the one. Okay, that's fine. Nice, nice. You should. Seriously, Control is one of the best games ever. It is definitely worth showing up for. Okay, I see. And here we have... Yep, this on. God damn it. Oh. Okay, I have time to regen. Go. Let's regen more. Actually, but first coffee. Wait. Loot. Yes, first. That's a resource. Okay, but first coffee. That's memory. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Correspondence. Travel costs. Week 83 report. Summary. Visited the following Nevada accommodations. Desert Sun Inn, Big Sky Motel, Starlight Motel, In and Out, Aztec Court, Sleep E-Bear Motel, Silver Spurs Ranch, and so on. I'm gonna skip a bit. I do wonder if a motel called the Ocean View is going to be found in a landlocked state. But hey, I guess I'm not paid to think, right? And for the record, I again request that you give us the budget to get 2 rooms each night. Agent Rowley and myself are very tired of sleeping in the same room. See you on the road, Agent L. Hines. The poison research said performing rituals may help identify any places of power. Drinking those little whiskeys is my ritual. Dear God. Wow. Okay. We're going to talk about rituals eventually, but yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So Rose says, I haven't finished it, but I was near the end. Ooh, communications department. It's the first challenging level. Yes, absolutely. The flying dudes are... bitch. But we'll get there. This, by the way, is a whole thing. I get hurt just by approaching it.
Overpowering here.
Yeah.
You don't want me anywhere near it. With you on that.
I think I can't even go it there like throughout the entire game, so it's more than just strong enough, it's just literally not an option. I don't know if that's, you know, where the hiss first crossed or something of that nature, I don't know. Hiss barriers. Okay, we've got some new documents here. Let's check those out. I told you, y'all, you have to get ready for this. Like, constant flow of documents to read. I do apologize for that. Summary. The hiss resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. Two methods have been discovered for lowering them. 1. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. 2. Destroy the hiss entities in the area. The resonance fields seem to require support for their size and density from other non-connected sources of hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Thus, an inactive structure made of hiss resonance qualifies as a conscious being. Does a distinction make any difference when considering the hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the hiss? To what degree is it watching and planning? Refer to file redacted for a full report. Yes, indeed. Hiss sounds like a gas leak. I assume you say that because that's literally what Jesse said. That's how she deemed it. Good memory if that's the case. Yeah. See here? That's even worse than the hiss above. We are not going anywhere near there for now. Oh, loot. Let's get the loot. There we go. Okay, so we got options now. I don't remember the map well enough, but let's try to first eliminate the easy options. Unstable area notice. There we go. Due to recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, this area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Reference chart. Green, stable. Yellow, low possibility of unanticipated building shifts. Orange, high. And red, frequent. You don't want to work in a red zone. I'm starting to be able, now that I know what they're saying, thanks to Terraria, I'm starting to hear some passages of the text. That's super cool. Or maybe my brain is just trying to connect it and forcing a resemblance, I don't know. Okay, so looks like we've checked out everywhere, so we can move on to the next bit. Oh yeah, I know that room. I hate that room. Dead letters. I may die. Machine God. I had a dream, and I built the thing I saw in my dream. A machine that will contain God, but not the God you know, or the ones anyone knows. A new God. This machine will be his body, his heart, and his mind. I'd made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator and the coils from my toaster and the fans plus the timing belt from my car's engine and the wheels from my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby's, but a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address on the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. Jesus. Weird shit there. But that is a good example of a dead letter. The game will explain a little bit more of that later on. But yes, get ready to see me die. I remember this being a pretty tough fight. Just as I say that, nothing happens, but believe me, stuff will happen. Dead letter approval. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranormal world. The letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system that allows us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. P. Bartwell. Sure thing, Rose. Just for chat, Rose was saying that she's gonna go. She'll be right back. She's gonna go and cook a little bit. And the music just changed, so maybe the fight. Yep, the fight just started. What's this? Another file. Let's read it. But first, coffee. Singing fish. Mr. Governor, I called the police, but they never come to my house. I got a problem and you got to send folks to fix it. I got my wife one of them singing fish on the walls. It's not real fish. It sings when you hit a button, but it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs, says lots of cuss words. The devil got in my house 'cause the fish, and you gotta come handle it. My wife is real upset. Can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. It is pretty fucking nice, yes. I'm sure I saw another dude. There we go. That can't be it. That cannot be it. Or maybe I have the wrong room. It's possible. Okay, we got a bunch of new mods. Let's double check quickly if we can get some better stuff here. Energy. I don't think we even use energy yet, so this can wait. So we've got 23 damage boost or ammo refund chance. Nope, we're keeping what we have. Okay. That it, really? Guess I got the wrong room. Because that was easy. Okay, yeah, I think if this is what I think it is, those are weird. No, okay, it's not what I thought.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once,
Noobs.
we even launched a cup.
Noobs. Watch me launch shit with that. I don't know if I read that bit out loud, but Terry has been saying, isn't it nice not having to collect batteries and ammo? And oh god, yes it is. No, it's not much. Turtle says 80 kilobytes, not so much. But, you know, at the time we were happy to have storage. I think it's the telekinesis aspect of it that he's more impressed by, but, you know. Alright then. So this just takes me back, I believe. Yep. Just making sure that there aren't any new zones. No. Sounds like we're good. This is where we need to go.
We're on the right track.
Oh, hello, you. Sure we didn't accidentally skip rooms down here. Did we go through here? We did not. Haha. Here we go. Book Club. Penny. Hello, avid readers. The Bureau Book Bunch will convene at the usual spot in the corner table of the cafeteria at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Currently discussing Unless You by J.D. Brooks. Everyone should get their reviews to me by Monday before lunch so I can generate some conversation starters before the meeting. Happy reading. Penny Bartwell. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we could call it. Ooh, those are the weird things I was telling you about. That's the weird stuff I thought the other thing was going to be. But yeah. I don't know if it's secret, but it was definitely not accessible when the hiss was in the place, so interesting enough. Those are so weird.
She walked into the city and didn't come back. I don't know what missing in actions is, but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Telfer. We'll find your mama together.
So weird, y'all. So weird. And they're all over the place. There's a bunch of them. It's kind of like the Night Springs videos in Alan Wake. Dead presidents. To whom it may concern, I'm being contacted by the past presidents of the United States of America. They appear as spirit guides, giving me their wisdom. John Adams keeps saying I need to fix America, but I can't really understand him. They all have lots of opinions. People tell me I'm imagining it, but Theodore Roosevelt showed me how to fix my lawnmower, and I don't know a thing about lawnmowers. Explain that. I have great dead men telling me about the past and the present. If you'd like to use my abilities to help run the government, please let me know. I know the White House could use me. Yours in earnest, James Bartholomew. People in the dead letters, man. They must read all kinds of crap. Okay, I think we're ready to officially start the comms department. Yeah, exactly. Later on, yeah, they're gonna clarify. For the YouTube folks, again, sorry, the widget is broken. I'll try to fix it before we get to next week. But yes, Terry is saying, aren't they explained as little kids things to show kids to keep them from asking questions and brainwash them? And yes, that's what the Threshold Kids show is all about. Okay. Let's start with small, easily contained rooms. There we go. One down. I think this leads nowhere exactly. There we go. Yay. Lawnmower presents. The dreaded what? The dreaded what? That's a great name, though, for an entity. The Dreaded. I like that. Okay, shit gets real here. Real weird. Okay. So that is a hiss barrier. We can't go through until we've destroyed something. So we have to go into the furnace room, or pneumatics they called it, but there's a furnace in there. Book Club, Samson. Book Club Notes for Penny by L. Samson. So I don't usually read a lot of sci-fi, but as far as space operas go, this was alright. The title Unless You could refer to a bunch of things in the book, I guess, but I thought it was a little vague and stupid. The way the characters kept throwing it around almost like a catchphrase got real annoying real fast. The best part of the story was the space battles. I sided with the Fixers, obviously, because they had the coolest tech and their motives made the most sense to me. Honestly, if I had to choose between some hoity-toity flowers and guns space hippies or a badass bunch of warriors who go around devouring planets like cheap sushi on a Sunday, I know who I'm picking. That scene where they invade City Planet and convert the entire population using those brainworms? And that space dogfight between those two ace pilots? Sign me the fuck up. What kind of ruined the whole thing for me was when my favorite character got killed, not even halfway through the story, by getting a battery cylinder launched into his face by a gravitational anomaly. His death didn't feel necessary at all. Okay.
An object of power. Looks like
Oh,
I guess I've latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
Reach the object of power. Ah, that's how I... There we go. Oh no, that's not the one where the furnace is. Okay, my bad. Okay. You got it, girl. You got it. You got it. There you go. The floppy disk / nuke can be bound to gain launch / telekinesis. Teach us to believe, director.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
And that, y'all, is the overpowered attack in the game. I'm gonna slot hold to advance. There we go. Turtle says, except she already had telekinesis with opening the trash cans. Trash cans? Not sure I'm following, but she definitely had, technically, that to me sounds like telekinesis. I have to agree. And Rose is happy that we are learning telekinesis. So, yay. Well, actually, we're learning to throw shit, is her words. And she's correct. Throwing shit is awesome. It's good that they give us that ability early on. It's really one of the cool ones, and it's going to be super useful throughout the game. It's also super precise, which is one of the other reasons why I love it so much. Like, you don't have to aim all that much. See, like, there, it's like I'm not even near the target, but she's still gonna hit it. The hiss / noise is burrowing into astral plane / secret base. You must stop / mute them, director. Interesting choice of word, considering the hiss is a sound. Like, mute them is how you stop them. I love that. Rose says the game Destructible Environment is the best, and I believe was the first game that do this far back then. There was some Destructible Environments all the way back, I would say. Was it Band of Brothers or something like that? There was a military game way back. Unfortunately, my friend who knows about this, and he's a huge fan of Destructible Environment, isn't in the chat tonight. If he was, he would know the exact date, but it's been a bit. But I would say, who does it this well, with that much clutter, definitely one of the strengths of the game, for sure. Like, look at that. Like, how cool is that? Was it? No, it wasn't Band of Brothers. The floppy bits now bound / delivered. The hiss / antagonist is seeking our astral plane.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off. I got it. Just like you wanted, right? This will help me fight the hiss.
I think you're correct. I do believe you're correct. That sounds like a cool thing to shoot at people. Like, I see you, buddy. Seems to be good. It seems to be good. We're full of health. I think we've looted everything. Alright. Flipping table. Yeah, we're flipping a bunch of tables. Flipping all the tables with our mind. Oh, crap. Hey, buddy. You got mail. Okay, but first, coffee. We got some more files. Specifically, I believe we've got, yeah, the floppy disk information. Containment procedure must be contained in a cell with no other loose material. Description / power utility. The object is an 8-inch diskette containing Soviet-era nuclear launch codes. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to telekinetically lift material and throw it a short distance. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.15 for more information. The object is currently bound to the director. Actually, no, might not be. Probably not. They're probably a researcher. No, never mind. Currently bound to redacted for research purposes. Background. Stole it from a Soviet military base located in Redacted by agents Redacted and Redacted with the CIA. The diskette contained launch codes to Redacted missiles, believed to be reserved for use against Redacted. After being returned to America, the diskette began throwing computational hardware at members of the decoding team. An informant in the CIA tipped the Bureau off, and he was requisitioned by agents the next day. Let me catch up with chat. Something seems to be happening. 89 messages were deleted by a moderator. Nightbot timed out the turtle for 5 seconds. Reason: stop spamming symbols automated by Nightbots. What symbols did you... I didn't see what you did, but apparently Nightbot wasn't happy about it. We're good. I think it's a short timeout thing, if I remember correctly. You can already talk, so we're good. Okay, so new enemies. We now have demolition experts. The Bureau only allows certain highly trained individuals to handle volatile materials and weaponry. Our demolition experts are instructed in the use of explosives in dimensions with distinct physical laws, making them important assets for engineering work as well as combat situations. His demolition experts are the only observed His variations to wield a specially built rocket-propelled grenade that is designed to identify and track redacted entities once fired, making them a threat whose termination should be prioritized in combat scenarios. I find it remarkable that the Hiss restricts usage of this weapon to the Bureau personnel who trained specifically for its use. What does this tell us about its behavior? Can it not pass along new information to corrupted entities? Still too many unknowns. Refer to file redacted for a full report. And we've got the Hiss Rangers. The Rangers are the Bureau's well-trained and well-armed expeditionary forces. Their Hiss-corrupted counterparts are equally formidable. Prior to corruption, Rangers were trained to use a variety of weapons in order to face any threat found during AWE response or threshold exploration, including submachine guns, assault rifles, and automatic shotguns. Hiss Rangers utilize these weapons as well as the advanced tactics taught by Bureau instructors. Some are additionally outfitted with Bureau-made body armor. Hiss Rangers have no observed paranatural abilities beyond some being protected by a shielding of dense Hiss resonance capable of stopping bullets. Considering the advanced training the Hiss Rangers are capable of applying to their situation, it is feasible to consider the human mind still remains intact to some degree. Or is the Hiss able to tap into this combat training and utilize it? Further observation is required. Refer to file redacted for full report. He did a table... I'm reading chat. Rosa is answering what I said, saying he did table flip. Turtle says I did a table... I'm assuming what you mean is you did a bunch of ASCII code essentially to reflect to reflect the table flip, and I guess Nightbot didn't like that. I'm gonna have to go back in its setting and see if there's a way I can tell him to lay back then, because ASCII is cool.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
I would like people to be able to do that. Okay, here we go. Energy renewal. Oh, now we do have energy, though. It comes back up quick enough. I don't think we need the mud for it just yet. Trash can. Are those what you call trash cans? The big boxes? I think it is. I think it is. And that's probably why we didn't really understand. Oh, I'll pay attention to the animation. I think I get what you mean. Okay, let me just... Yep. Yeah, definitely. That's telekinesis right there. Either that or, you know, bad animation. Huh, interesting. Okay. Tomasi, Willow AWE outcome. National news sites have begun publishing the story of the polar bear attack on the Alaskan town. Oh, Alaska, there we go. So Willow seems to be the WE with the scissors. We'll see. You all know I don't like to boast, but claiming that the family was killed by migrating polar bears desperate for food because their ecosystem is being ruined by global warming was a stroke of genius. Using current ecological concerns makes the public much less likely to redact it. So another AWE behind us, and the public is none the wiser. Well done, everyone. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. This doesn't mean we can stop monitoring redacted and redacted for any off-message opinions, but it's looking like we're in the clear. Still saying playing a team of control officers would be amazing. Energy gain from headshot. Oh, okay. We're good. Still say that would be amazing. Because, like, it's not just containing the threat. There's also this aspect, this whole aspect of trying to control the narrative that you don't get in many games outside of, let's say, Technocracy, for example. Okay, they're locking the door there. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, hello. Right, yes. This room. Two for the price of one, baby. Okay, like every room I remember being hard, I'm just breezing through right now. I think it shows I've played the game before. Like, I remember... Like, my muscle memory is kind of still there, despite the fact that I played this game a year ago. System security evaluation. Confirmed data breach. Last month, our on-site server experienced an intrusion by unauthorized users. After a thorough investigation, it was confirmed that the users only accessed a video file, which contained portions of various Dr. Darling presentations. Investigators were able to track the users through their IP addresses. The following are confirmed identities of these users. Patrick Strugen, bunch of names, just gonna skip. These individuals are in breach of Bureau Code 91 and have been placed under surveillance by our external investigation team. Further action is pending. Terrier says, and you did it before getting it. Probably just sequencing oversight. Didn't want to code. Yeah. Didn't want to code another animation. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's literally no other way for me to interpret that animation. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing I noticed, because I was thinking like servers and computers and all of that, like how could that work in the office? But those are damn old computers. That's cool. It makes sense. Must be hell working in that building once again. Not only, you know, can you get lost going to the bathroom because the bathroom teleported while you were in it, but right, clearance level 1. Let's wait. But you're stuck working with old crap all the time. Like you can't have a decent computer on your desk, right? Like this computer, like my rig, like there's no way that's not happening. You have to like Windows 3.1 tech at best, like, or even DOS tech at best. Just wow. Rose says, nice. I'm curious how you're going to perform at the peak of a mailroom. Yeah, right. Yeah. The mailroom is definitely one of the hardest rooms I remember. And so far, I've breezed through all the rooms I remembered being difficult. This is the last one I remember having trouble with. Probably because I was still grasping, you know, basic controls and how to survive in general. I'm really curious to see how well or horrible I'm going to do with the next room. But first, coffee.
You're listening to America Overnight, mystifying the airwaves for more than 29 years. Thank you for staying up with us. Ghosts. We've had many callers over the years tell us of hauntings, voices, and other phantasmagorical phenomena. Today, friend of the show, Dr. Quincy Reagan, tells his story. Quincy.
Thanks. This is something I experienced recently while staying at the Chili Pines Motel in Macon for last year's SuspiciaCon. I was in room 47. The night manager, an avid listener of the program, insisted I take this particular room. Now, the manager explained that years back, the body of a man was discovered under the bed, inside that wooden border that motel beds tend to have. And the body had been there a week, he said. Guests had stayed there, sleeping with the corpse a foot below them. They only found the body when housekeepers complained about the smell. Hauntings have been reported in room 47 ever since. I happily took the room. I fell asleep pretty quick, checking under the bed first, of course. No ghosts visited me, no chilly spots or flickering lights. But when I woke up, I found myself under the bed. It was dark and stiflingly hot. Luckily, I was able to push the mattress off and crawl out before I suffocated. The night manager was kind enough to find me another room.
Oh, there you have it, listeners. What we call ghosts take many forms. Quincy was brave enough to tell his story, and I encourage you to keep calling and writing whenever you encounter something strange, something you can't explain. Maybe you're seeing colors that we have no name for. Maybe your toaster is possessed. Remember, dear listeners, when no one else believes you, we do. America Overnight, we'll be right back.
So in relation to the conversation we were just having, like, this is the worst place to work at, Terraria offers the counter argument that you also get to know that Cthulhu is real, so, you know, give and take. It's probably just music. Or not. Or yes. Not gonna risk a DMCA over that. Energy, there we go. Okay, now, there we go. Gonna finish explore. Okay, clearance level 1. Anything else to loot? Nope. That's inviting. Claim control point. Okay. Let me go back up, because that guy had a key, and I think there was another key there. Whoa. Okay, so you can enter by either floors. Interesting. Can you take this one? First time I played, I went from the first floor, so I'm gonna try going in from here. Marshall, lockdown distinctions. Pay attention, Alberto. This is the last time I'm explaining this. Internal lockdowns are manually triggered events that lock one or all of the sectors by restricting use of the sector elevator, effectively locking staff in their sector until the emergency is handled. They can only be lifted via the directorial override in maintenance once the director is satisfied that the situation is under control. External lockdowns are a bigger deal, nothing in or out of the whole building. It's only triggered by a code red containment breach based on some complicated system that security and research slapped together. It can only be lifted once. A, the threat has been neutralized, and B, a high clearance individual gives the system the all clear. This process is not the same as the directorial override, so stop saying so in documentation. I know it's confusing as hell. I've told Darling 100 times to change it, but they're adamant it stays the way it is. Honestly, I don't think they even know how to change it at this point. Let's just make sure our staff understands how this mess all works, okay? Rosa says, didn't know that back then. What bit didn't you know? Did I inadvertently discover something interesting? Or was that the fact that the keys are on both floors? We can't go there, can we? It's gonna... Yeah. I don't even remember how we survived this. That's mold, by the way. It's been mentioning mold a couple of times now. This is what that is. It kills you. It's horrible. It's not something you want to mess with. Okay, yeah. I may be wrong, though. I was sure there was a second entrance. Ah, there it is. But they don't let you take it. Okay, so you have to go from the first floor. Okay, that kind of solves the question. I was right, but I was wrong. Why give 2 keys then? Like, literally.
This must open the door.
Indeed. Okay, y'all. This is when you actually see me die repeatedly.
They can fly now. Great.
Dang it. Health is becoming an issue. Give me some health, baby. Thank you, please. I think there was another guard there, no? I have to try and get some health or I'm gonna die. Where's the boss man? There we go. Okay. Well, damn.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
First try, y'all.
Let's stay focused. The hotline should be past the mailroom.
I did not expect to get that first try at all. It took me, I want to say 4 at least when I did this the first time. Alright. Just making sure we don't miss any loot down here, and then we're going to do the same up there. Yeah, it sounds like we're pretty fine. Okay. Don't want to toot my own horn, but a bit proud of this one. That was I really remembered that as a hard fight. Yeah. Rose says, I think I realized why it was so hard. You got the first throw telekinesis enemy that throws shit. You got the first assault and grenade launcher enemies, and you have to learn about energy management right in on a boss fight. And she's completely right. Rose knocking it out of the park. That's true. It's a hard fight exactly because of all of that. And it's also one of the rare fights that kind of breaks the rules, right? Hello. Interesting. If you remember, I made a big deal that Control's fights are a bit more fair than Alan Wake's, right? Because Alan Wake enemies just keep spawning all over the place and behind you if they want to. Whereas Control doesn't do that. And this is pretty much the only fight where, as you could see, enemies just continuously spawn, and they do so pretty much anywhere. It can be behind your back. Like, enemies spawn in other fights as well, just usually they do it mostly straight up in front of you, and you can easily adapt to your situation, whereas Alan Wake liked to just cheap shot enemies behind you all the time while you were already busy trying to control a bunch of them together. This is the only fight where I was constantly hit in the back when I was trying to survive it. Like, you're trying to shoot the boss and just like bang, bang, bang. You're getting shot from who God knows where. Yep. And Terraria reminding me that we're close to time, and I honestly am pretty happy about that because soonish we're gonna get to the hotline, so it's gonna be pretty good time, honestly, to stop. So we might just step a little beyond the 10 p.m., but not that much, quite frankly. It's gonna be pretty tight. Buttle summary, event summary. So that's AWE 17. A spate of disappearances was traced to a home in the city of Butt. It's probably Butte, or I don't know. Let's just say Butt, because it's funnier. Where Bureau agents discovered a translocative light switch cord. Oh shit. Okay, they're talking about that. Fine. Event response. Bureau agents arrived at the home of a local celebrity, located at Redacted, which has been connected to a total of redacted disappearances in the area. Agents found no one inside. While searching a closet, an agent pulled the light switch cord and disappeared from view. Another agent was selected to pull the cord in order to replicate the event. He disappeared as well. Both agents were discovered at the oldest house, redacted days later, found in a sealed room by rangers exploring a new area of the house. The light switch cord in the Butt home's closet disappeared during this incident. Hiss elevated. His elevated agents display abilities similar to telekinetic competencies observed in Bureau para-utilitarians. Some prefer to charge their targets, while others launch objects at them. Telekinetic attacks have been ineffective against the Hiss elevated. If you notice, by the way, whenever I tried to attack it with telekinesis, he dodged it. Like, sometimes you can, when it's distracted, you can manage to hit it with telekinesis, but usually you cannot. So why did I still do it before, early on, when I could waste the energy before all the enemies started spawning? Because that was a good way of distracting it. If it's dodging your telekinesis, the point where it stops its dodge is a good spot to just start shelling bullets at him, and he's not going to move too much. It's a way of making the other shots count. But I knew that the telekinesis attacks just won't land. Due to their own talent in the area, they do not use any weaponry except their own paranatural capabilities. Some Hiss elevated have been seen levitating while strapped into chairs. This is likely the result of individuals being corrupted while undergoing cognitive recording in parapsychology. How are they able to use paranatural abilities? It is possible that these individuals were bound to objects of power prior to corruption. It's also worth considering that the Hiss resonance can identify and express latent paranatural ability individuals it corrupts. Refer to the file blah blah for full report. True. Terraria making a damn good point. Also, they don't take control from you when they spawn. Absolutely accurate. We had that conversation last week, I think, about, or the week before that, about it being not great when a game takes control away from the player. Like, you can get away with it sometimes, and sometimes it's well done. But Alan Wake's way of doing it wasn't great. It was way too frequent for starters, and it wasn't great. Control doesn't do that.
Alberto Tomasi, head of comms.
Enemies spawn, sure, but usually they do so in a fair way, and they don't constantly stop the action by just removing control, showing where they are and coming back. Well then, everyone, it was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. Alberto Tomasi, Federal Bureau of Control, head of communications. It, of course, in this context, head of communications means he's the head of lying to everyone.
All right, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power.
See? Lying to
Numerous
people.
personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds an altered item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier to... Hey, are you still recording this?
He didn't tell the guy to stop. Of course they're still
The
recording
hotline
this.
can't be far now.
It's not. It's not. It's right there. You can hear it ring. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Rose says, I still don't understand the machinery on this room, those tubes. Those are vacuum tubes, essentially. It kind of like a vacuum cleaner. It suctions. And in a building such as this one, you use tubes like these. You put letters in them, and if you put them in the correct tubing, it should end up in someone's office somewhere. It's an old method of sending letters internally in buildings. Don't think it's much used anymore. Personally, I've definitely never actually been in a building that uses that, but that's the general idea. It is, after all, the mailing room. True, they do have phones as well. Hotline chamber. Notice the absence of a door on that wall. Just saying. Hotline security log. Hotline security log. Director Trench. Director Trench. Bill Heverett, custodian. Ah. So, you don't have to be a director to use it? Director Trench, Bill Heverett. Director Trench, Director Trench, Director Trench, Bill Heverett. Director Trench, Bill Heverett, Carol Bishop. Because the janitor's name is Hati. I'm confused. I must misremember then. Right. That makes a certain amount of sense. Terraria says mostly banks use...
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream logic. The light switch cord. Door marked with a black pyramid.
Thank you, Director Trench. Terraria says the older office buildings will have the infrastructure for them, but not functional, or only functional for certain disparagements. Maybe he meant departments? Not sure. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Have we been here before?
Traverse the Ocean View Motel.
I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country. On the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
Welcome to the Ocean View Motel, where I guess I'll let the game explain, but man, this is a big one. Like, so much discuss. Like, all of these symbols have meanings, and I haven't deciphered all of them, but they do. They tie to stuff. And this is an inverted pyramid, so this probably links to our office, because it represents the board. Yeah. I'm gonna try to turn off the radio. I know I can ring the bell. I'm gonna wait first. I want to check what's in here. Regular numbered doors. That's fine. I can open none of them. But if I recall... Yeah. Chat says, sunshine. The sunshine that stay. It is a pretty damn cool sunshine effect. Yeah.
Anyone here?
That's what I remember. Ringing the bell opens one of these doors. Nothing interesting happening here. That's fine. We're gonna ring the bell again. Go to the next door. Still fine. Like whenever we visit this hotel, essentially a weird-ass puzzle happens. Just like this. This one's super easy though, just...
Key has a black pyramid on it.
Just keep pressing the bell until, you know, you have the right door with the right key. But it gets more complicated. And, you know, if I press again, it goes back to the first room. So, yeah. So I can't open any of these other doors. But I really want to know what's behind them. I really do. Exactly. Chat says it's just the first visits. And absolutely correct. So see, this is where we were. And where we technically still are. 1, 2... Boom. Always in trees. Look up at one of my past comments. Oh. They were both custodians, maybe past hosts. Could be. You know what? Before we do that, let's go back. Let's check the dates again. Oh, we don't need to go. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Aha, almost missed you. Butt supplement. According to their testimony, the agents had been transported from the Butt home to a roadside motel, named the Ocean View Motel and Casino, and discovered a room key by performing a ritual. See file MOT-01. The key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house. The disappearances of the home's owner and the other locals of Butt have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View Motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in the Butt home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, redacted light cords have been found in the oldest house, located in the redacted and redacted sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel, though how exactly this link operates is redacted. But initial hypotheses center on the Butt AWE as a redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation. Wait, actually, no. I want to stay there. Research and records? Probably. No. Case files? No. Correspondence? It's not multimedia. It can't be multimedia. Research and records. Must have missed it. Data breach. There we go. So Bill Everett, and then 14 days later, Carol Bishop. I don't know. Maybe. Could still be. Hotline Seashell is a transmitter bridge. Directors can call the board / long distance. Complete the astral plane challenge. I did not remember the phone having an astral plane challenge, but okay. I do like the theory, though. Oh, shit. The hotline will allow you to contact extra-dimensional entities. Okay. Fortunately, that seems to include astral spikes. Astral spikes are not our friends. Okay. Easy enough. Come on, buddy. You wanna eat me? Come on. You wanna eat me. You gotta get closer for that. There we go. The board. Well done. Dialed. You can contact us /past cells in the hotline collectibles menu. We expect compulsive weekly calls. Lol. The game even went meta, like literally said like menu.
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
I have it. The hotline. I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily.
All right.
People react strongly when I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
So, as I mentioned, I guess, the game going meta, Terraria pointed out quite correctly that the board goes meta quite a bit, and he's absolutely correct. Earlier in the game, it referred to the hiss as the antagonist, and yeah, they totally did. They absolutely totally did. I think the game is just saved, so I think it's going to be that for tonight. Next week, we're going to go through all of the new shit we just got. Well, we can probably read the hotline, but containment procedure. Objects should be inaccessible for use except to the director. Description per utility. Object is in 1960 era's red Bakelite telephone. The rotary dial has been replaced with a black knob of unknown purpose. The phone weighs redacted. The object allows the director to communicate with the board. If used by anyone other than the director, the object will cause lethal redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.6 for more information. So I am correct. You die if you use it and you're not the director. Still, we have two different custodial people who were fine. So, I mean, Turtle's got to be right. The two custodials must have been hosts of the janitor, and Hati is just the latest host. That's got to be it. The object is currently bound to Director Trench. No longer accurate. Background. The object spontaneously manifests in the director's office, placed on the desk. Director Northmore was the first known Bureau agent to use it. A battery of tests were run on the object, including redacted and redacted, but its origin remains unknown. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of stuff to read next week, but we're going to wait until next week, because if we start that, we're going to stop way later than we usually try to be. But yeah, that's a great spot to end, quite frankly. Just want to do one quick cool bit there and show that there is now a door, which leads directly to the director's office. Boom. And we didn't have that before. Oh, hello. Guess we can read that. It wasn't there before, and we might forget it exists. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident. Regards, Zacharia Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Damn cool place, that oldest house, y'all. Okay. Let me quickly catch up with chat. Taria says Hunter and SI news later this week. Oh, cool. Maybe werewolf. Yeah, I'm gonna go and assume that they're just gonna shelve werewolf for a bit. Like, not that they're not working on it, but I think they want to wait until they've, that Hunter is done and out there before they actually start the machine of talking about werewolf again. But we'll see. Rose is like, I don't want to live there. Yeah, no, right? The oldest house is... I would probably love working for the Bureau, despite the fact that it's probably hell. Like, just everything you find out must be just the most fascinating thing ever, but it also must be super terrifying. So, I would love to, but I also would hate it. But the building itself, I mean, it's way too dangerous. Come on. Like, there are even examples in the text later on of people just disappearing. Like, they're gone. They're just gone. Like, the house shifted and they were never found again. Anyway, on that, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you had fun. I'm really happy to be sharing control with all of you. It's cool seeing you, Rose, here tonight. Thanks for coming. I hope you'll be here next week, next Monday. We start at 7 p.m. EST, so you're, of course, welcome anytime. I hope everyone enjoyed Control. It's one of my favorite games, and I really couldn't wait to share it with all of you, and I'm glad I get the opportunity to do that tonight. So thanks for coming to the Sept. Have a great week, everyone. See you all next week. Thanks for coming.